Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Wednesday Youth Morning Show. This morning we have with us Miss Ashaki Armstrong and Miss Tabeel Arthur, and they are of E-Pixil Studios. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
No problem at all. So, start by telling us about E-Pixil Studios. What is it about?
Right, so basically, E-Pixil Studio is an animation studio located at Cove, Tobago. We are
We are a 10-seater
yeah,
studio.
sorry.
We mostly deal with 2D animation, 2D hand-drawn animation, and cutouts and rigging and so on. And we're excited to be here this morning.
Okay, wonderful. So, it's the first animation studio to be launched in Tobago. Tell us how you feel about that, being a part of this legendary launching of the first animation studio in Tobago.
Well, I, for one, am very excited. I'm very passionate about art and animation and illustration. So it's really great to be able to not have to go out to the US or the UK, but be able to be here in Tobago and be able to follow something that I'm passionate about and be able to have a job out of it.
Okay, so I know for certain that you have always been into this kind of thing. I've seen some of your work
Yeah.
before, and I can say for certain that it's quite excellent. So let's talk about digital creativity and digital creativity in Tobago. Aside from ePixel Studios, has there been any opportunities for young persons like yourselves growing up in Tobago?
Well, I know that a lot of art teachers do definitely try to integrate the digital side of art into education. Miss Janelle Carrington, who was my teacher at Signal Hill for sixth form, she really drive the idea of art, bringing in the digital space because that is what the world is today. Everything is social media, everything is internet, cell phones, YouTube, such and such. So, that really helped. And I think also, myself and my fellow artist Ori, who's also a part of the team, we try to foster communities. We have a group called the TT Artists um, art group that we have on Instagram and WhatsApp and Discord that we try to communicate with artists in Trinidad and Tobago. And we have like over 200 members. And we just talk about art, we play games together, and it's really fun to help everybody feel happy about what they like to do in animation and art.
Okay, it's really nice that you all have that kind of community, that kind of camaraderie. So, Ashaki, let's talk a little bit more specifically about digital creativity. Tell us what it is.
Well, basically, digital creativity is just an art form where you can be digital, use the internet, use the local space in that format to showcase your talents and your work.
Okay, and in terms of contributing to your skill, aside from your teachers, was it, you probably liked watching a lot of cartoons growing up,
I
or
mean,
was it just
yes.
something natural?
Well, definitely. I was very influenced by cartoons, anime, video games. Video games is a big one because one of my dreams is to be able to work at a video game studio, and I really love interacting with that sort of digital media. So it's just, of course, seeing that I wanted to be able to create that. And at first, especially in Tobago, I really thought that it wasn't possible to have a career like this, or that if I needed a career like this, I would have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to attend some school abroad or something like that in order to have a career. And ePixel Studios is really the start of something great for people who, like me, or who are younger right now in school thinking that they love art, but they just have to keep it as a hobby. Maybe it could really become something they have as a career.
Okay, wonderful. That's very, very, very touching. And in terms of your responsibilities at ePixel Studios, what are you guys responsible for?
Well, I'm one of the animators and I'm also an animation trainer. So what we really do is, well, of course, it's 10 of us. So the animation process is breakdown into different stages. Usually, I'm responsible for things like concept art. I do cleanup animation and I also do color because the animation process starts with the concept, then you have the rough animation, then you have the cleanup, and then color. So I try to help out between there. I also do a lot of illustration, and most recently, currently, E-Pixil Studios is working with Nerds International to teach young people. Right now, actually, today is one of the days that we'll be teaching some young people about animation.
Okay, and you are.
Yeah, so I'm basically the studio coordinator. I ensure that everything is done on time, everything is well equipped for the animators to get their job done.
And she does a good job.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's wonderful that the employee is they love the employee. You know, it's good to have that good
Yes.
working relationship. Nobody feeling uncomfortable, no kind of tense feeling or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and aside from teaching the young persons about animation, what else does ePixel Studios do in terms of your day-to-day operations?
We provide well, as she said, 2D and 3D animation to local, international businesses, distributors, media houses.
Okay, and in terms of it being private or a public entity, how does that part of it work?
Right. So EID, well, sorry, ePixel Studio is an initiative of EID Cut, which EID Cut main core initiative is to support entrepreneurship and innovation. So it was on the top of animation was on the top of their list to get going in Tobago to give the youths a space in Tobago to be creative, in addition to making money at the same time.
Okay, and in terms of the inspiration for both of you, in terms of animation, would you say your parents? You said for certain your teachers. How about you?
Um, Basically, it's myself. I was self-influenced by animation.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. That's great to hear. You know, I'm very, very happy to hear these kind of things happening in the Tobago space because, as you said, a lot of persons they like art, they like cooking, they like singing, and they say they want to probably put it as a side something. So they focus on something else and they put it to the side. But it's really, really good to hear that you all are out here encouraging and motivating young people to do what they love. So you can just give your inspiration to some young person who's probably looking on and they like art, they're interested in art, they're interested in animation, 2D and 3D. You could just give your words of encouragement to them.
I would say that it's important to stay motivated. I know a lot of parents out there believe that, you should be a doctor or a lawyer or something along those lines, but there is value in art, there is value in animation. And I do encourage young persons who are interested in animation to make sure that you work hard, do your research, and build your portfolio um, because we are a small island country. Sometimes it's really hard to stand up with the big dogs, but it's really important that you put in that energy and that effort and work hard, and you too can stand out among a sea of artists out there who are extremely talented because you yourself is talented, but you just need to work hard.
Yes, and don't worry, we are expanding soon, so look out for the ads coming.
Okay, and aside from the expansion, what are some of the things that you all, some of the projects that you all have in mind, aside from teaching the young persons? We said was Nerds International. And what are some of the projects or some of the ideas you will see coming out in the future from ePixel Studios?
Well, I can say, well, recently we have worked on the Heritage Project, the logo Heritage, yes. We do hope that it is, well, not hope, but we look forward for it to be showcased at the Tobago Heritage Festival launch on Friday, so do look out for it. It is an amazing, amazing animation.
Okay, and as I'm seeing this here, I think that is something that is interesting and could be incorporated into, like the primary schools and the preschools,
Right.
To foster that kind of visual learning, those students who are visual learners. So viewers, we see here some of the things that they would have done at the E-Pixil Studios, sound design. Oh, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, our goal was to create a short animation featuring the famous icon that we always see on the logo, the Tobago Heritage logo, that Bella Former, as we call her. And our goal was to really take her and create a sort of a journey as she goes through what makes Tobago culture beautiful, our dance, our nature, and involving, there's a part of the clip where it involves like children running through because we really want to, because heritage is important. And it really is also important that we find ways of bringing it to the current modern time so that it still has and maintains its cultural integrity, but it then transforms into a sort of modern platform where young people can look at it and still learn from it what we learned back then, but in a new format.
Okay. Now, Tabeel and Ashaki, I think that you all, I mean, this interview is so, so inspiring. You are so well spoken and eloquent.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm very passionate.
For certain, you can tell that you all are very passionate about what you do. You all love what you do. And I love to see young persons doing things that they love. So I just want to thank you all for coming on this morning and chatting with us. I want to thank you all for inspiring the young persons in Tobago and creating a forum for persons to be happy and for persons to be comfortable and doing what they love. You know, the digital aspect that you all are putting into things in Tobago, the heritage part of it, I think that is exceptional. So I just want to congratulate you all again. And thank you so much for coming and chatting with us this morning.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Your support has been so instrumental.
No problem at all. Viewers, we're going to take a short break and we're going to be right back with more interviews for you. So remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.